On. What's up, man? How you doing, Louis?
Hey, Arnaldo, nice to see you, man. I always saw you on Twitter, and now it's good to see you here.
Yeah, man, it was great to finally meet you. Put a face to that account that I've been following, and like I was mentioning to you, inspired me to share my love and my passion for this club that we both like to root on.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here, man. I'm glad you invited me. I'm glad we took a little time out to talk about Tigres.
Absolutely, always can do that. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about this game, man. So I started, blogging a little bit, and I'm working on producing some content. I'm working with you and some other fans that are a little vocal on Twitter, and just spread the community not only for Tigres but also the Mexican League, like we were talking about, in the English language. So, want to talk to you about this game, hear your thoughts, and what your expectations are essentially for this upcoming game against Juarez and Tuca.
Well, as you know, we're coming in red hot, and so that's always great news that early in the season we're clicking. Unlike in the past, with Tuca teams, we would have 6 weeks of very lethargic play, very few points, and right now we sit only a 1 point away from the top of the table. So that's great news. I mean, we'll be facing a tough Tuca team. As you know, all Tuca teams are very disciplined. They handle themselves very well defensively. So I think we'll see plenty of that during this game. I think he knows our squad very well. I don't think there's another coach in the league that has studied this Tigres team as fully as Tuca has. So I'm sure he'll have a couple tricks up his sleeve against us. But ultimately, the 11 that we'll put out on the pitch, there's just too much talent, I believe. And so I think, we should be able to pull out a win. We've been scoring a ton lately. So I think we'll continue to score. Even though Tuca's teams defend very well, I think we'll continue to score. And I believe we should win 3-1 or so.
All Tuca has to do is pretend, he's up 1-0 at El Volcan in the 84th minute, man. And he'll be all right. Park the bus all game, man. I-
You
I'm
know
ex-
it.
I'm excited, man. I'm excited. That guy meant so much to us, so it's always, cool. Like, especially like now that he's over there, see what he's actually going to do. Is he actually gonna stay and help build that franchise, or is it just like he's just passing by? So I'm excited. I want to see how he plays us. We played him last season at Volcan. That was just bad game. We crushed them. So I want to see what, more time of preparation, more training, and with this new squad to see um, how he stacks up against us. But are you what do you think about this Piojo system? Looks like it's clicking finally. I think it's finally getting to that piece or that moment that he wanted to get to, as far as like players like removing themselves from the old system, and like the intensity. I think that's been, for me, the intensity and the pace that they have when they have the ball and they don't have the ball.
I'm loving it. I think he messed with the lineup a little bit early on, and it wasn't working out. We had a rough game at Santos to start out, and it wasn't quite clicking. But once he settled for the three at the back, I think everything's been perfect. So either Reyes, Pizarro, and Angulo at the back, or Lichnowsky, Pizarro, and Angulo at the back. But that's been working great. I think defensively we're looking a lot better. There's been a few mistakes, but nothing that can't be fixed. I think the system is tactically doing great. Then we've been playing with the wing backs, so that's been awesome. Aquino's been playing great, linking up well with Quiñones. And then on the right, lately we've been using Jesus Dueñas, and that's working out great because now he links up well with Tovan. So that's perfect. The middle, Carioca, he's solid. He's fantastic. He's all over the pitch. He can do it all. And then we got Vigon, who he's given us goals, which we didn't expect. And he's basically going box to box. And so that's been a winner. And then obviously picking up Soteldo in the offseason. I mean, how great was that? We lost Salcedo. He didn't want to be here any longer. And then just magically we pick up Soteldo, who's been a great second half guy. So he comes in as a sub for Quiñones. He's putting up assists, and he's looking very dangerous. So I think that's great. Gignac looks like the old Gignac. In the box, he's lethal. And so The team, man, I think is playing fantastic. Tovon is looking like the player we expected. He had a rough start last season, but this season, I think he's going to click and he's going to do well. And I think, Tigres is going to benefit from his good play.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with you. I think that we're balling out. I believe that they finally like can handle moments of the game and know when to pick it up and when not to pick it up. Obviously, they're not perfect. They're not the best team that we can possibly see yet, but those moments are there where they look super dominant. Like there's no other team on the field but them because so much talent that they have that they're able to play at such a high pace and speed with the passing, man. Like the creativity that it's out there with all that talent, it's great. So finally getting to that point of his system where the players are buying in, everything's clicking. It's super exciting soccer. I can't tell you the last time that like, even though, we weren't the best team going into the season, or we were at times, it wasn't as exciting to watch Tigres now because we are constantly a threat from the moment we get on there to the moment we step off that field.
And how awesome it is that we can go down 1-0 or 2-0 and we still have plenty of chances left to be able to tie it up or even win it, which in the past, that was a problem with Tuca's teams. We would go down, people would park the bus on us and we'd run out of ideas. And now we're making comebacks. We're looking dangerous. I think the team's right where it needs to be. Hopefully we carry that into Liguilla because, we'll face all the tough teams then, but the team's looking really good right now.
Which leads us into like the squad rotation. It's probably been one of the most like positive outlooks on this season is how much Piojo is willing to use his players and really make the competition amongst the players like really thrive.
I think that was one of the biggest complaints about Tuca, right? I mean, that he would let players rot on the bench. You had Diente. He was riding the bench the whole time. And Piojo came in and changed that. He lets people compete for the job, first of all, which I think is very important, right? If you didn't have the best week in practice, you don't get to start.
Correct.
And I think that's important. Also, if you start, it doesn't mean you play the whole 90, right? So he's willing to make changes at halftime, which we didn't see with Tuca. Tuca would wait until the 80th minute, make substitutions, and it's tough for a guy to come in and try to do something in 10 minutes. And so I think Piojo was giving the squad great rotation. There's a lot of internal competition, which is great. So right now, for example, Quiñones and Soteldo, they're battling for that starting spot. Dueñas and Chaka. Chaka's riding the bench now, so he needs to step it up. So there's internal competition there. Lichnowsky and Reyes, they're going to battle it out. So I think that's great for the squad. And it's also great for the squad to know that if they continue to work hard, then they'll have a shot to play.
They'll be
and
rewarded.
I think that's also important.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so do you believe, like, are we, we projected a lineup in an article that I wrote about the preview, and it was going to be the same lineup from the previous game, but Quiñones looks like he's going to be out and Nico's taking his place in the starting lineup. Do you believe that with Nico sliding in, is this our starting 11, or do you still believe that Quiñones can beat him out at that spot, or Soteldo, or even bench Tuban for Nico? What do you think, that is this the closest to the starting 11, or are we still a couple players away from knowing?
I think right now, as we speak, Quiñones and Tobon, it's their job to lose. I think right now they're playing well enough to keep their starting job. Soteldo is right there, I think. But for now, I like the three at the top with Tobon, Gignac, and Quiñones. Just because I think as far as chemistry is concerned, they got better chemistry with the wingbacks. And so until that changes, I think they'll continue to be starters.
Yeah, I think, man, it's so crazy. Aquino, man. Aquino, great chemistry up on that left flank with al quien le pongas, anybody who he plays with, man. And having now Soteldo to change the pace of the game to come in, and just reminds me of Damian Alvarez, coming in and like flipping Aquino the other side and still being dangerous. We're talented. We got a lot of depth. I'm excited, man. I think that it could be our season if everything works out. We stay healthy and the players truly buy into like all that talent that they have on the pitch.
I agree. I think it's our season. Out of all the teams I've watched this season, I think Tigres is playing the best. Cruz Azul is playing great too. Puebla obviously, but I think Tigres is going to be right there battling, and I think we'll see them in the final.
That's good. That makes me excited, man. Something to look forward to. Well, thanks for your time, man. Hopefully we get to do this a lot more, and really, put out the stuff that we really like to talk about, which is Los Tigres de la Universidad de Nuevo León. So thank you for your time. Thanks for your contribution and all your takes and thoughts on what the team is looking like.
Thank you, Arnold, for everything you put out, man, the great articles, and thanks for the invite. Happy to be here.
Awesome, man. Thanks a lot.